continuing our horror ranked series, we're moving on to the Final Destination films. And again, because it seems to be the preferred format, you'll say your list, I'll say mine. We'll say them at the same time. It'll be a 3, 2, 1 countdown. We'll say our next in line in the list. I do think ours is going to be pretty similar here. I think it's kind of mutually agreed upon in this sense. Maybe I know what our number one's going to be. So, like, that may be different than most. But other than that, I feel like the list is pretty mutually agreed upon.
Right. And when you only have 5 films, that's usually the way it goes anyway.
Yeah.
At least there's a lot of variation when there's 12 films or 10 films or 11 films in Holland's case.
Yeah. It's a thing of taste. And it's an opinion.
Yeah.
Just always got to remind everyone, these are opinions. If you like another film over another in the Final Destination franchise, that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to hate you for it. That's totally fine. But hey, let's start with our number 5. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
4.
The Final Destination, which is 4.
Yeah.
Final Destination 4 or The Final Destination. Honestly, it's just a mess all around. Weak characters. Yeah. Not a big fan of the NASCAR opening scene. Dude, it looks bad.
The kills, like even the visions. The kills and the visions.
Yeah.
Look awful.
Yeah. And then you're coming off the premise that Final Destination 3 created, being the whole seeing him in photos things. And they just kind of threw that concept out the window. And I hate things like The Final Destination. Like, you don't do that because it's never the end. Yeah, like, it's never the end.
Yeah, it was just, those kills just look so bad.
Yeah, you get the butt plug one. That one's fun when he gets his freaking gut sucked through the pool. Completely unrealistic, but that's how the whole franchise is.
Yeah.
I think what really holds this film back is just the choice to do 3D and not do it well. Like, literally having 3D just to be 3D. It's what we saw in the 80s a lot, where point things at the camera so we show off our technology.
Because it was new.
Yeah. But it's not so much a thing in the Final Destination. And Final Destination 5 did the same thing, but it did a lot better. So, yeah. It's usually agreed that one is the worst.
Yeah.
Weak characters, weak story, dumb visions, bad CGI, bad 3D.
Yep.
Indeed. Okay, next, here we go. 3, 2, 1, Final Destination 2.
Okay.
Okay. So, the reason I don't like 2 as much as 5 is 2 is confusing. It tries to elaborate more on the first one, but in doing so, it contradicts itself several times, and it just has way dopier characters. Like the main chick, whose name I don't even remember, the main protagonist, it's just dopey. It's a dopey film.
Yeah, it almost seems like it is a scary movie parody of the first one, at first, at least. It does get a little better about halfway through, but I dug 2 just a little bit more than 5. Really, there could be interchangeable. I actually did dig 2 quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I put 5 here.
The one thing I really like about 2 is it does have good kills. Like, at the end of the day, it does have good kills. Like, it does, its opening scene, it still haunts people because of the whole log on the back of a semi like that. And you have to drive, driving's scary. And also the kill right at the end with the whole barbed wire fence element. I mean, just, it's graphic stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's my reasonings. Okay. All right, next, 3, 2, 1,
Final
5.
Destination 2.
So you see, you always switch to how you said the whole thing, and then I didn't say the whole thing?
Yeah.
So 5. 5. I think these next 3, to me, can be kind of switched in how you want. They're all pretty good in the top 3. But
it's just the Final Destination is just in a league of its own.
Yeah,
down
like
there.
The quality jump, even when I put 2 at 4, like the quality jump between the Final Destination and Final Destination 2, it's huge.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big gap between those 2 films. But with 5, I like 5 a lot. One, you got Tony Todd back, and he actually has fit well. The story makes sense. It works beautifully as a prequel. An unexpected prequel. You can't find any hints of it.
Yeah.
Cool kills. I remember I saw it in theaters. I saw 5 in theaters, and like the part with the gymnast and she lands on her face, dude, it's so bad. Like everyone's like, oh God, oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Then the laser eye surgery, like that stuff. Oh.
Yeah. So the other day, 2 days ago, I marathoned. I did 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I prefer and I dig 2 a little bit more than 5. It's just I watched them back to back, and I'm like, you know what? The clear duology.
Duology, yeah.
Yeah. It stuck with me a little more doing that. And then I did watch 4 and 5 together the next day.
I think 5 flows into it so well because like it ends on 180. Like your cast that survived in 5 gets on flight 180 and they die.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Another one of those where nobody walks away living.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the cast that's in the first Final Destination. By the way, I don't know how they did that. Like, it looks legit. It's pretty well done. It was like they're actually there.
True.
Okay. Next on the list, 3, 2, 1.
Final Destination.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
So again, this is probably where people disagree the most. Most people put this at their number 1. The first Final Destination is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it got critically kind of shit on when it first came out. I think that was 2000. Yeah, so teen slasher films are starting to die out. We just posted a video about Scream 3 and why teen slasher films died out after Columbine. And that's kind of, it came out at a time where it was bad taste to show death in such a manner. But at least it wasn't people killing people. It was death doing the work.
Freak accidents.
Yeah, and the premise of Final Destination, the whole point is, and that's why it's supposed to eat away at you, is that you could be in the same situation. You could die at any time. Like, death is inevitable. So, yeah, like that's why it's scary, because it's not like your regular horror films. Because you know people are going to die. You know the order that they die, and you know what's going to happen. So that suspense there, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find a way to build it otherwise. And I think it does it pretty well.
Final Destination has such a good flow. It just flows so perfectly.
Yeah.
There's not a real point where you sit there and you're like, all right, checking the time, how much time's left. It just flows so good. And it's a lot of people's number 1 for a reason. It's good.
I also think the visions, in terms of using visions, 'cause out of all the films, I think the first one does it the most effectively.
Yes.
In a way where it shows something without giving it away. I think that's pretty well done. In the second one, they're using things around. It's not visions. It's like they're using things around them, like shadows and things like that, to help. It's weird.
Also, in 2, I believe, the main character is, I forget his name, but he's a guy.
Yeah.
Then his girlfriend,
Yep.
all of a sudden is just like, you need to stay away from me. Everything I touch turns to death. And he's like, you're not the main character here.
Stop it.
Yeah, it literally sounded like she was about to be like, yeah, I'm the main character now. It was a little weird.
The second one, I think the biggest thing that holds back the second one actually is the lack of the cast knowing, not the cast knowing, but the characters knowing each other. I think these films work better when the people that are about to die in a freak accident know each other, so that the tension works and they actually give a shit about each other when they die. When you're just strangers that are in a part of a car accident, that you lose, and that shows in Final Destination 2. Like, they don't really care about each other, really.
Yeah.
So you're like willing to let people die. You're not trying to save them as much as you would be if you know them.
Yeah, and I mean, you almost got a little bit more of a mystery in Final Destination, the first one. You get a little bit of the mystery because the FBI's sitting there, and you're like, you sort of know what's going on, but you're like, maybe there's this mystery aspect to it for a little while at least.
Yeah, which I can elaborate on that more, because that brings me to my first pick. Which is 3. We don't even count down. Final Destination 3. The third one of the things that makes it better, the characters know each other, first of all. It doesn't feel the need to explain in depth like the first and second do. I think that's why I would put it above the first one. Like, the first, second, which is why it gets confusing in the second one, they're stuck trying to explain what's going on. You don't need to. We get it. Like, death is inevitable, and if you cheat it, you get killed. That's really all it is. And 3 doesn't feel the need to explain it, other than you have Ryan Merriman for 2 seconds saying, hey, people in Flight 180, he got off too, then they all died. Like, in the order they would have died, they said that was it. That's all you needed.
Just to confirm that we're in the same universe.
Yeah, and like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's well explained.
Definitely like that aspect. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Dude, literally, having Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Ryan Merriman, it's all I need. My Disney childhood is in a horror film.
And they were good.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah. And again, another one with a very good flow.
It's also I think out of all the films, it has the best development. For, like, you take Ryan Merriman's character as Kevin, and he starts off douchey. We get bad vibes from him, the way he treats his girlfriend. But as he's getting established more and more, as it's just him and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, you like start to realize he's not as douchey of a guy as he was, and maybe a lot of that came as an act.
Yeah, you get the nice little arc.
Yeah, and like I appreciate that.
Yeah,
he's not a douchebag, and he's going to ask her to marry him. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies that for some reason we watched it and we started to like pick it apart, but in a good way and a bad way, sort of thing, and then makes us really appreciate it more.
Yeah, roller coasters. People are always scared of roller coasters. You know, like there's so many people that won't get on them.
Mm-hmm.
So like showing how people die on it, half a dozen people just get fucking thrown off of it. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Like that's where I kind of nitpick. Like the way it happens doesn't really make sense, especially if you know how roller coasters work. But it's a movie, and it's always been over the top.
The way that we work is we get drunk.
Yeah.
We watch we watch bad movies. Movies that, and I mean some that just aren't the best, and we nitpick them in good ways and bad ways, and then we end up appreciating it more and liking it. Like Final Destination 3, a lot of people have it as the second worst in their rankings.
Oh, I'm surprised. I don't know why it'd be a second worst.
I've seen a consensus. It's like 4, then 3, then 5. Sometimes 2 and 3 get switched.
That's just wrong. How dare they?
I've seen
how dare they?
but yeah, it's just we love it. We love Final Destination 3.
And the use of photos is by far the best out of the vision stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at a photo, knowing that this is explaining their death and having to figure it out, and having that adds suspense to it because you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
like you know it's there, but what are the signs?
Yeah, we could definitely talk about Final Destination 3 forever.
Yeah, we're actually fully like considering doing a full podcast on it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you don't listen to our Make Every Death Count podcast, it's available on all podcast platforms of your choice. I'm sure there'll be a link to the description as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll dive into this more. But that is our ranking. I know some people. Apparently, people don't like 3, but I think you're wrong. And then everyone dies. It was the first time someone was ballsy enough to have everyone die. Like, it hurts a little bit, but I respect it.
Yeah.
And then I also love the end credit song from not from Tom Petty, but from Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is his name, right? I'm not Tommy Lee. His name's Tommy Lee. But yeah, people around the world.
Yeah.
Join hands, start a love train. Love Train. I love that song. That stuck with me forever since I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you get that shock ending, and then you go right into a more upbeat song.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, then the use of the song, There Is Someone Walking Behind You. Like, it plays anytime something's about to happen, which, I don't know, that's interesting.
No.
There's only one part of the film that really bothers me, and I can dive into that when we do a podcast on it.
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, let us know your thoughts. What are your rankings for the Final Destination films? Let us know in the comments below. But that's going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you next time.